Hi friends, welcome to Suma Sridhar channel. So I am a life transformation coach, a speaker and an author and a trainer. So today I am here to present Breaking the Shackles series where we invited one of the guests here, Dr. Mrudula, a psychologist, NLP practitioner and a life coach. I welcome you ma'am for this Breaking the Shackles series. And let's start few questions where people are suffering from different challenges. I would like to address few questions from your side and get some inputs so that we can empower people to understand and have a better quality of life. So let's
Sure.
begin conversation. Yeah, welcome you once again for this show.
Thank you, Suma. Thank you so much for inviting me here.
Yeah. So I have few questions where I have been in the teaching industry for 20 years, and a lot of many times I saw many students are having lot of fear during their examination, and they are not able to manage properly the time and all those. So let me address few questions based on this context, and also I would like to hear from you what are the major facts behind this. So let's get started. So why do many children and students are facing fear during their examination? What exactly happens in their mental state?
Okay, thank you. This is a topic which is actually around the society these days because it's an examination time. So a lot of students now has woken up suddenly that they have to write their exams, and then the fear starts. Now there are multiple factors. Maybe just it is just the fear of a writing exam. There are a lot of things which are associated to this, and let me point out few things our and be reflecting on those so that they are capable enough of attending or attempting the exams properly. Now, first and foremost, a lot of students, and I remember being a student, us as well, we all think last time would be the best overnight studies and
Absolutely.
trying to see, yeah, trying to see this is the best way of attempting it. Now, psychologically, also a lot of experiments have been done, and a few times in crisis, we actually our intelligence is sharp. However, this cannot be adopted for exams. The reason is these 3 hours of whatever time you're spending in the examination hall, this is the time that you would be actually attempting to show the world and yourself that this is what you're capable of, this is your potential. So this is the time when you have to actually think of how to attempt it properly with proper planning. Now this is not see whether it is first standard or whether it is standard or whether it is an IAS officer exam, whatever it is showing you and others what your potential is. So do not take any exam easily. And I also say that do not take it as a life and death issue. It
Yes.
is, you have to understand this is just a test which is going to show what your potential is. That's all.
Yeah. Correct. That makes
Let
sense
us,
actually. Mm.
and right. So if this thought process every student's mind, I'm sure they will not be so feared. They will not be actually worried or anxious or nervous about it. This is from the student's perspective. Now, the second point would be the expectations, whether it is self expectation, parents' expectation, co students' expectation, or the faculty. They will all have a kind of expectation on this particular student can definitely write this, or this is the percentage that I'm expecting for this particular student of mine. Or might say, you've been very, very sharp all these years. Now, this is the testing time. You have to definitely clear this with this GPA so that you will get a higher education somewhere else or a better job or whatever it is. All this pressurizes the student who is appearing for an exam. The reason why our expectations should be realistic is to make the student understand that it is only a potential test. That's all, nothing else. So we need to simplify the whole thinking process around education. Education is not for careers. Education is not for just jobs. Education is not just to pass off, because that is not just a series or a exercise that you do just to pass and go to the next level. Education is the principles and values which will teach you how to survive, how to lead your life, how to be a better citizen in the community, how to contribute to your own family. So that thought process should be associated with education, not just examination. So when we have this kind of discussion around that, then I'm sure, Suma, that people will not, students will not fear exams. They will say
Yeah.
that this is one level that I have to clear.
So thank you so much for
See,
the wonderful insight and follow-up question based on that. If according to the parents' perspective, they have high expectation generally. My daughter should score well. My son should score well, so that they can lead a
absolutely,
happy and great life. So in terms of
absolutely.
financial wealth and all those. But how do we train the parents in this concept that how they have to support during these critical situation, during the examination time, and how they can be helpful for the students to cope up this challenge?
Sure. This is very important because when we talk about expectations, first expectation is my mother expects me to become an engineer or a doctor or so and so position, or my father thinks that I am capable of this and so I should achieve that. You go and ask any student in any college, why did you join this? First, they will say, my parents have encouraged me to do that, or my parents
Yes.
this area of now, I want to ponder on this a little bit. As a parent, you're guiding your child, right? Guiding. It is
Yeah.
not imposing. We need to guide them and show them a path. You need to give many options, not one or two. Give as many options as possible. You can say the child to explore what their interests are. You cannot force something that you could not do it, the child should do it. We
Absolutely.
always that, you know what, I was very good in mathematics, but I expect that you also become a mathematician. Might be the child is not mathematics oriented. Maybe he's a creative kid where his logical mind is less what you say occupying than the creative mind. He might be good in singing, he might be good in painting, he or she, I mean to say. So
Yeah.
when a parent is expecting, they are consciously, unconsciously, wantedly, unwantedly rubbing a lot of wishes and pressure on the child. This is first hurdle that the parents should understand.
Mhm.
When I was young, I used to study like this. You also study like that. When I was young, I used to focus on studying. I used to, spend some time on studying my material. Excellent. That's very good. Actually, that is a principle that many followed and succeeded. But we do not know whether the child's is a night person or a morning person,
Yes.
because
Correct.
when parents were children, they did not have these gadgets to distract them. They had enough sleep, enough time to actually ponder on what they are doing, what they are not. So this way, the living conditions when the parents were kids and the living conditions when their children are kids, there is a lot of difference. So this has to be understood by the parent first.
I
So
think
during examination,
we need to bridge that gap in the parent as well. I think we can conduct one more
absolutely
series based on this for creating the awareness to parents what should be done and what should not be imposed. Right.
positive
So I
parenting.
think that yes, that should be actually helpful for them to understand. So how they can support in their path and make the child to succeed in all aspects of their life to have a better quality. I think. Yeah. Thank
Absolutely.
you so
Now
much
the
for
parent,
the yeah.
yeah, sure. You would like to go for the next one.
Yes, yes. You had a few thoughts about that. You please continue about that.
Yes. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is when a parent is trying to discipline the child, that will not come during examination. You should be disciplining the child right from, it's an ongoing process. It's not during the exam them and you are leaving. So there is a pattern which is set in kind of interactions and communications between parent and the child. So the pattern should be followed all the time, not just exams time it will change and non-exam time it is something else. Then the child is confused, and that adds to the pressure of what he or she is already going through. So what I would request humbly to all parents is observe how and when the child is active, whether it is night or a morning, and accordingly leave them. Give that space. Don't touch your mobile phone. These days, without touching mobile phone, nobody's day is going on. Parent is looking at their mobile phones and they are restricting the child to touch it. It happen. Now, when you mean it, then you sit with the child and make the child understand why you are saying that, right?
Yes.
There are things that today's child is more socially exposed. So there is a lot of information flow. So if you want to channelize your child's energies into education, then explain them why you are thinking like that. What are the tips that the child can follow, and not during exams always.
Yes.
During exams,
Absolutely.
give them space. During exams, give them space. If they are studying don't pattern. You must give one or two tips, but don't force anything. I remember one of my relative used to give ladies finger curry always when there is mathematics exam. It says so
Yes.
the mother feels that
We
memory
will
will
become more
improve.
intelligent, yes, using
Yeah.
like those vegetables
So
actually. Yeah.
yeah, though we are laughing on it, what I would say is nutrition is very important. And these days, parents should concentrate on the child's eating and sleeping habits. Maybe you should focus more than what they're studying and posing into how much time they're spending on social media. Are they looking at whatever? Instead of giving negative feedback or negative suggestions, why don't you focus on their nutritious values and they are sleeping, whether they are safe at home, relaxed, calm. No, don't fight with your spouse during those days. The
Absolutely.
dysfunctional families have a lot of pressure. As such, today's families are single child families and single mother families, or no extended families. So, as such, there is a lot of belonging issues for the children. So I feel that parents should concentrate on these kind of aspects where the child is that freedom of space, that freedom of expression, the freedom of preparing the way they would like. Instead, what parents can actually do before the exam, we know that there is a specific academic calendar. So sit with the child and plan accordingly. Your academic calendar is this. So let us plan your syllabus in this way. You have the books with you. You can help the child to do that. If the child is doing on his or on her own, then you don't have to interfere. But if they do not know it, children, sit with the child and say, you can have fun time as well during exams. However, this is how you should plan. This is how you should study, and you will divide your syllabus into small chunks and prepare yourself with the key points, keywords, and how to write it, pattern of writing the exam, pattern of understanding and making the evaluation, clean and neat handwriting. These are the things that parents can focus on and help the child to come out of that fear and pressure.
Yeah, very valid point you have focused, Mrudula, because many parents even find it very difficult for themselves to spend time with their children. I think that should be actually the first priority for a parent, because as a parent, even I also follow the same. As soon as as my daughter comes, I'll ask her how was the day, like how did you spend your day, just few conversation. This will help the child to have that support. Okay, somebody is there for me to care and support. So that thing we need to request all the parents to spend at least 15 to 20 minutes with your child to understand them
Of
better. What
course.
is going on? What happened in the
Yes.
classroom atmosphere? How did you spend your day? What happened to any setbacks you have? Let me discuss like this. Like this friendly conversation can help the child to improve their confidence level as well, right? So that is a great initiative we take and help the parents to be aware and also help the child to grow better. So I have another question which is related to nowadays, recent years. Even I am also seeing a lot of mental health issues has become an increasing challenge now, because one of my friend's daughter, she was in ninth grade. Okay, she committed suicide just 2 years back, and I was
Mhm.
shocked. Like, what is this happening exactly, and why? That rate of students or whoever may be the adult also. Many adult issue rates also are increasing. So I want to know what exactly is the some of the reasons where these challenges, how it can be, resolved, or some tips based on these type of situations, how we can help the child or the student to understand and live better. Yeah.
Yes, Suma, I think as you said, as you pointed out before, we also have few series dedicated to mental health as such. So then I will address this situation in relation with examination only, because this is a very vast topic where we need to dwell a lot about different aspects of why this kind of thinking happens in the individual to such a, I mean, to get agitated so far. So,
Yes.
for in relation with examination, what I would definitely like to tell is we need to right from the childhood. We need to build resilience in the children. You know, addressing there are a lot of crises across in your life. Just yesterday or day before yesterday, there was a situation here in Hyderabad where there was an last year child. He is 9.8% GPA for his 10th standard, and he is in a particular corporate school where he studied very well. He's in a hostel, and the lecturer has humiliated him so much that he had wrote a suicide note and committed suicide. So it is very sad that the child's father, just 3 hours before this incident, the child. So what is the father's situation today? After seeing that, he must have expressed that his faculty are beating him, or they in fact beat him, it seems, if he is not able to recite the formulas properly. And not just humiliation, not just also physical. So the children in that hostel facility are really going through a lot of trauma. They must have definitely told us. But what happens is, again, parental expectations. We all feel that children are mischievous. They are people who try to express, I am not feeling well, I don't want to go to the school. I am not feeling well, I don't want to study properly. All these excuses are there. We've been seeing it right from the childhood. So I felt that this is one of his excuse. And he felt that, no, beta, you please study properly and write the exams. And he left. And this child has taken an extreme step. And imagine what happened in the father's mind, what could have happened in the mother, what could be their situation today. The reason
Yes.
behind all this is, see, we cannot blame the father there. Neither can
Yes.
we blame anyone. If there is anyone to be blamed, it is our education system. The way we are, emphasizing a lot of kind of learning. You get 99 point some GPA. Why? Education is just a filter, an entry ticket, right? Education marks, I mean to say the marks, the certificate is just an entry ticket to the job. It will qualify you or not qualify you, that's all. But it is not going to decide your life altogether. It is your performance, it is your behavior, it is your values. All these together will decide how you are going to be successful. But what happens during the student years, we are emphasizing only on education. I mean, not education, the marks sheet. The marks sheet. Because for us, mark sheet is important. You need to get good marks there so that you will get a better, higher position or higher education facilities, whatever it is. So what are we emphasizing here? Not education, but the marks sheet. Whether
Yes.
how they get it is it's a very very debatable topic as such.
Yeah. Actually,
But
we can't also now, no, we cannot point out that also because a lot of things are there. Know how to take it and in what aspect we have to, resolve all these, and many things are going on in that also. I think in the NEP policy, all these would have taken care, and we have a better syllabus and which are related to skill based and life skills and values. So we would like to also address those things in the next coming series. So let us keep
sure,
that topic also
what
in the
yeah,
yeah.
definitely, Suma. But what I want to point, definitely education, the country would like citizens to be educated better, and the educators also, the academicians or the faculty who are there in the college are actually having grudge towards the students, or they want to wantedly do all these things. No, it is the expectation of the particular kind of society where marks is important.
Yes,
What I want
correct.
to emphasize is just reduce that.
Mm,
See, when I was a kid, getting 60 marks was super great. First
mm,
class, oh great. 70% above distinction, super great. But today, 99 also is difficult. Why didn't you get 100 out of 100? Why only 99? Why only 98.5? Why not 99? And this is actually demotivating the student, the learner in the student. The learner is lost. The learning is
yes,
lost. It is only
correct.
marks orientation. I am saying I am not against the marks as getting excellence is really good. It is actually, as in the initial phase of this talk, I told it is testing your potential.
Yes,
So if you're getting 99 as a GPA, it is your potential that you're absolutely great. But how much pressure is the child going through to get that 99? Is
that
it
matters
that you
actually.
definitely matters? And how many of the 99% GPA students are there? How much of
Yes,
actual education has got into their minds? Are they? What do we mean by education? Is it just literacy, or education is more of more than the literacy? It is not just marks values which the child has. It is how the how is the child able to
live the life
be
in a
resilient
better,
enough with the
yes,
better.
to
All
face
this
the
comes
real
under
facts
education.
and understand everything and how mentally become tough to hold any type of
Yeah,
challenges. Yes,
overall health of the child is education.
yes,
His perspective is education. His thought thinking process is education. His contribution towards society is education.
yes,
But what we are doing is we are restricting this education only to the marks sheet. That is my agony. My agony is we are limiting it to an
yes,
extent where all the thought process during exam is only on marks, not on concept learning. So what I like to tell all the students today is focus on concept learning. Put in your best. If this day it is not, there is another day tomorrow. We can wait for it. It is not that as exam is not do or die situation at all. If this exam is gone, there is another exam coming up. You have always a chance of improving yourself. All of us are not Mr. Perfects and Miss Perfects directly coming from some world. We need to groom ourselves as Mr. Perfects or Miss Perfects. In fact, after grooming also there is scope of learning. We need to
absolutely.
groom or think our perspective should be like learn. I know
It's
very
a
little.
process. It is a process. It's a lifelong
Absolutely.
journey actually.
I remember my grandfather when he retired. That's when he got time and he started studying.
Yes.
So there are people who have
There are
to,
many case studies. My uncle, he is a marathon
yeah,
runner. He has won lot of awards and achievements and everything at the age after retirement, after his retirement. So
Great.
there is a chance for every,
So there is life
kind
after
of
this exam also.
this one. Yes.
Yeah, life goes on. Life goes
Yeah,
on. It will
correct.
not stop anywhere. So this kind of thinking should be imbibed among students. Today you're able to tell your parents that you're suffering this, then you have to think on what you whom you trust, because parent is the person who is always with you, giving all the inputs whatever they can. No parent will think that my child should suffer.
Yes. And
So
also,
try and
I
explain
feel,
them.
yes, I feel we need to also take care that the teachers also must be empowered based on these aspects, I think. I believe, right?
Yes,
Because many teachers also having a lot of turmoils and all those there in the journey, in their journey. And
of
also
course,
that impacts the students' life. So that is why
definitely.
we need to empower the teachers as well and empower the parents as well, so that then we can have a
Absolutely.
very good, the structure. It can come into good initial phase when we try to help the students to achieve better.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah, sure. That is very true. The best view comes after the hardest climb.
Yes, absolutely.
You need to get onto the top, only then can you see the view. Until unless you get onto the top, how will you know? And that top should be decided by you. I very
Yes.
well remember one of my son's teacher. My son was little poor in Hindi. So his Hindi teacher told when he was in 8th standard, I think, he said, "Beta, you imagine certificate and see how many marks you take. You imagine as per your potency. You imagine and achieve that. That's all. We are not asking anything else." So I really liked it. I mean, that's how you are supposed to guide the child.
Yes. Correct.
Self awareness. What is that you should do? How should you go from one particular point to another particular point? What are the things that can be empowering you to go to reach that
Yes. How
particular
do you reach
place?
that destination? So what methods you use? Like that way, if we train and channelize them, I think that will definitely help them to achieve that target. And
Absolutely.
as we have a lot of inspirational and successful quotes, as nothing is impossible, right? To achieve until it is
Yes.
done, it assume it. We think that it is impossible until it is done. But
Yes.
as we go
Absolutely.
ahead in that milestone, crossing all the hurdles, and it becomes very easy later. But initially, you need to do that
True.
effort, hard work. You need to put your heart and soul so that you can reach that destination.
And
So
yeah,
thank,
I feel
yeah,
the students should take it as a game where there is a surprise element to the end. Go and achieve that surprise element. Whatever you are going to achieve, let us because you do not know today what you're going to achieve tomorrow. So go to tomorrow, then you will know what you're going to achieve the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Life goes
yes,
on. So I think the students should be open to that surprise element and move towards growth mindset.
yes.
You
So
should
we
have
will address.
perspective where you should.
Yeah, we will address these concepts once again in the next episode 2. So stay tuned for episode 2, Breaking the Shackles series, where we address all these, the real facts which are having a lot of challenges in their, the barriers. We are going to give some tips and solutions based on the experts, what we have analyzed and what we have experienced, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so that is what I would like to once again thank you so much for coming as a guest and giving a lot of wisdom and the psychological facts, why it is important, to what facts we need to consider, and how we can train our students and children for the best level. Thank you so much once again. And dear viewers, please share your comments and
Thank you.
feedback so that we can have the conversation. And what are your any challenges if you are having, please kindly give those questions. So we would love to address and give the best from our side. Thank you so much, Mrudula.
Thank you.